Tonight, 13 Investigates takes a deeper look at human trafficking in Rockford, from the survivors and their trauma to services available for these survivors to what you need to know about trafficking around you. 13 Investigates' William Ingalls joins us for his report. William.
Connie Moore and Danielle Davis don't hold back when they talk about their lives while being trafficked. They were addicted to drugs and did things they regret. But now both survivors are in sober living facilities and far away from their abusers. And both shared their stories in hopes that you'll understand there are crimes happening in our community hidden in plain sight. We do need to add that while none of the video in this story is graphic, some of the topics discussed in this story could be triggering to some. Viewer discretion is advised.
This started on 7th Street, which is a very known area in Rockford for drugs, prostitution, and crime.
It felt like I was trapped in a vortex and I couldn't get out.
It broke me down to my lowest. I was brainwashed into believing nobody cared, that was the only option that I had.
This is 7th Street in Rockford, Illinois, a stretch of road Connie Moore knows too well. She was a victim of human trafficking here for almost 30 years, and her life hung in the balance too many times to count.
So he would get drunk, and one time he put a gun to my head and made me take off all my clothes and hang out the second-story window and told me to either jump or he would shoot me.
But every time it seemed like it was the end, there was something or someone watching over her.
They would tie me up and just do whatever they wanted to. And then, for some reason, there was an angel around me or something. A car would come along, or somebody would be walking down the street, or I would scream and somebody a block away would just happen to hear me.
Unfortunately, she's not alone. Danielle Davis didn't go into the same detail as Moore, but does remember 6 years of constant manipulation and abuse.
I was physically beaten, emotionally beaten, mentally and verbally beaten.
Both Moore and Davis no longer walk these streets that led them to addiction and crime. In fact, they're no longer in Rockford, opting to move away and start their lives over. The problem is that they're not alone. Stories like theirs happen right in front of us, every day.
It's people sitting right in Katie's Cup who are just taking a break from being human trafficked for maybe 5 or 10 minutes.
Victims could be sitting next to you at a restaurant or stocking shelves at local grocery stores.
These women are walking down our streets, they're riding our buses, they're working jobs too. So it's not just like something that's happening and we don't know it. It's happening in our community and it's probably very close to you, more than you think it is.
But how much trafficking is happening in Rockford? It's not an easy answer. Per the Human Trafficking Hotline, Rockford is tied for the 4th worst city when it comes to trafficking in the state of Illinois. But that program only tracks people who reach out for help, which can take years.
I was pretty much used to it and comfortable with it, so I didn't really try to get out right away.
We are so brainwashed into thinking that this is the norm that we don't see ourselves as victims all the time. We see this is something that we're doing to survive.
It's an experience Brittany Schreiber sees often. She works for Rockford's Alliance Against Sexual Exploitation. Even after a survivor comes forward, it can take months, even years of building trust to create change.
It may start out where they think that they're in a relationship or that they're promised a career, and so you don't really know what's going on, and they know their lives best. So like I said with Race, we walk alongside our survivors and help them through whatever that process is.
Just this last month, Ray's assisted 14 people. The push to help survivors is strong, but bringing traffickers to justice isn't easy.
So it's sort of hard to find. It's not like a shooting where somebody, there's a scene. There might not be a scene at all.
Allison Meeson supervises the Domestic Violence Unit for Winnebago County State's Attorney's Office. She tells 13 Investigates prosecuting human traffickers is especially challenging because of a lack of evidence. And unlike sexual assault cases, a conviction almost always relies on a survivor testifying in court.
That doesn't apply to prosecuting a sex trafficker. He is not directly involved in the sex act. So there's not really an exception for proceeding in those cases without the testimony of a witness.
Here's what 13 Investigates uncovered. In 2020, 6 new trafficking cases were investigated in our region. And the shocking part, according to the Human Trafficking Institute, That's double the average of new cases for a whole state.
Yeah, it is frustrating. I wish that we could do more.
But what can we do? From Schreiber's standpoint, educate yourself and understand anyone can be a victim.
It's not discriminatory. It happens, and it's not your stereotypical where you think someone's being thrown in the back of a car and kidnapped. Yes, that can happen, but it's every day. It looks like a relationship.
But for Moore and Davis, they say just a kind word in conversation could have made all the difference.
People would have just asked me how I was doing and broke some ice. It would have kept me out of the streets.
You think that little help to self-worth can make that much of a difference?
It would have to me. It does to me still to this day.
Moore and Davis said they found help at Miss Carly's, but there are many other resources in Rockford as well. The Human Trafficking Hotline is posted inside several bathroom stalls in the city, and Race and the Family Peace Center have drop-in services for victims. We will list these sites with proper links on our website on WREX.com. I'm William Ingalls, 13 Investigates.